Hey guys, alright, so the next video that I was going to be posting was my trip to Louisiana. There's a couple problems. So, the video is over an hour long. It's like an hour and 10 minutes, an hour and 11 minutes. So, I've been trying to upload it to YouTube, and I've been running into a couple problems. First of all, every single time I try to upload it, it says it'll take about 11,000 minutes for it to be done. So, a week to upload. And the thing is, I it was almost done, and then my computer decided to shut down to update. So I had to start all over. At that point, I was like, oh, fuck. I need to think of a better way to do this. So, it might not be going up for a while, but I promise it will be up eventually. Don't know when. What the hell am I doing with my hands? Anyway, so, you know, I wanted to go a little in depth as to what happened because you'll see in the Louisiana vlog, but since it's going to be a while before you see that, I figured I might as well tell everyone what's going on. So we are done. Completely done. Now, this is an interesting story. So I went to Louisiana, finally. I did actually go to see her, and at first it started great, and then it got horrible, and then by the time I got back, I was just laughing my ass off. Alright, what I mean by that is, so, she didn't message me, I told you, the Sunday before I went, we broke up. She broke up with me. That was the last thing she said. She was like, I want to break up with you. I'm sorry. That's the last thing, that's the only thing she said about the subject, and then she didn't speak to me at all. So, I'm on my way there. I get stuck in Dallas. She doesn't know that. She thinks I'm there already. So the first thing that she texts me. All right. Days of not talking. She knows I'm coming, so she immediately asks, "Why are you here?" I told her exactly why I was here. I was there to see her, hopefully to talk things out. If not to get back together, then to get on good terms. And all right, so I ended up having to get a hotel. I was originally gonna stay at her place, but I had to get a hotel, which cost a couple $100 more than I would have expected to pay while I was in Louisiana. So, what happened was the next day, she calls me. It's like, great, we can actually talk things out. She tells me that she wasn't able to make it, but she tried, so she apologized. It's like, oh, okay, that's okay. It's not your fault. She told me why, and yeah, it definitely wasn't her fault. So, she says, right now, I just want us to be friends. I just want time to clear my head. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, see if you can get here before I have to leave. All right, so before I have to go, all right, because I'm supposed to leave early in the morning on Sunday. So Friday she couldn't make it. Saturday she couldn't make it. So it was like, all right, I'm not gonna be able to see her. Then there's a snowstorm happening in New York. Where I live, we only got an inch or two, but in the city where I'm supposed to land, we got 2 feet, which means they canceled all the flights for Saturday, and they canceled all the flights for Sunday. The day I'm supposed to go home. So I got stuck there. And I thought I was like, oh, then Sunday night or maybe Monday morning I'll get out of there. No, I ended up leaving Tuesday morning. Okay. And early in the morning, I left my hotel room I left it at 3. I got to the airport by 3:30, 4 o'clock. And then I got on a plane at 6:30 and then flew back here. But more on that later. So, since I had more time, I let Brittany know. I was like, hey, I'm going to be here for another day or two. So that's when she finally alright, I'll meet you. So she tells me to meet her at the Pre and Lake Mall in Lake Charles. Which I did. I got a cab there. Oh, God. I wish I was recording. I wish I was recording while I was at the mall because holy crap. Yes, she had another guy. I was like, are you fucking serious? All right. On that day, like obviously we've been broken up for a few weeks now, but back then, which was like over a week ago, we've only been broken up for exactly 7 days. She's already in someone else's arms. Really? That's not the fucked up part though. So I asked him, how long have you guys been going out? He's like, about 3 weeks. I'm like, huh, 3 weeks? Hmm. You know Brittany broke up with me only a week ago today, right? Like seriously, they said, what is it? January 6th or January 7th is like their date. Like their date they started going out, and I'm like, she broke up with me on the 17th, dude. Don't believe me? I still have the text too. Like anyone who asks, and if she says that she broke up with me earlier than that, I have the proof, and also have the proof before that saying that she wasn't gonna break up with me. Apparently, during the time she was seeing him, so she has nowhere to run, which is funny. So at the time, like while all this was going on, like I was speechless when I freaking saw him, and I was like the time I was there, I was being mature about it. It's like, oh, okay. And then I completely just broke down when I got into the hotel room. It was like that. It was like the worst pain that I've ever felt seeing that. It was like the whole reason why I went there was to be with her, was to finally get a chance to hold her like I've always wanted to, and she fucking did that. I'll admit, she has guts. She has fucking guts. So, what did I do from that point? I messaged her saying, it's like, hey, even though you said you wanted us to be friends, you said it was only to clear your head, and you said it was only gonna be for now. I was like, do we ever have a chance? And she said, I'm never getting back together with you. I have absolutely no feelings for you whatsoever anymore. And that she also said, I am falling deeper and deeper in love with him. It's like, you just met the fucking guy. You just met the fucking guy. Alright, and that's what I'm thinking. Is like, how the hell can she do this? So, alright, the fucked up thing is like, oh, you know what? He can drive you to the airport if you want. Yeah, that's a very fucking smart idea. Have your boyfriend, who I am despising right now because he took you away from me, drive me to the airport. Yeah, that's a really smart fucking idea. So I told her what time I was going. Like I told her an hour later than when I was going because I knew they would probably show up to take me there. So to fuck with them, I told them I was leaving an hour later than expected, so I would already be gone. All right, and I'll get back to that in a minute because so what happened when I got to the airport and stuff, and I was thinking to myself, it's like, at this point, like a day or two has passed. I was like, I had time to clear my head, and I had time to plan my next move. So while I was in Dallas, she was in school, so I know she wouldn't message right away. I sent like a novel long. It was probably like 2-3 pages actually. A really long text, like putting it in my perspective, like letting her know how much she means to me and everything. Like basically, is like my last chance to get her back. And if she apologized for like what she did to me that day, then I was like, okay, we could be friends again. If she broke up with him for me, then I would definitely take her back. If she did none of those things, then we were gonna be done for good. All right. So, yeah, as expected, I didn't hear from her while I was in Dallas. That was expected. All right. I fly back to New York. All right. I'm on a bus home because I had a bus going from New York City to Monroe where we were parked, and while on the bus, that's when she messaged me and was saying, it's like I am not going to break up with someone I love just to get back together with you. And that's when all my pain subsided, I just started laughing. I was like, "Are you fucking serious?" I was like, "Are you?" She's living in a fantasy world. That's exactly what it is. She's living in a fantasy world because, all right, I'm not gonna break up with someone I love just so I could get back together with you. It's like, oh, so you mean you won't do that, but it's perfectly okay to go out with him while still dating me and then break up with me for him after you've already been with him for a couple weeks. And it was deep into our relationship as well. So, not breaking up with him for me, that's not okay, but that is. Anyone, anyone else see anything wrong with that? So, the whole entire time. Oh, and I said I would get back to this, and this is what I mean. All right, and then she said, "Oh, by the way, your flight was never canceled. You lied to me." Oh, so that's why I was able to meet you. I was supposed to leave at 10 o'clock Sunday, or I guess 11 o'clock Sunday, and I met you at noon. How the hell did I lie? It was all over the fucking news. When I was on my way to see her, it was on the TV in the lobby at the hotel I was staying at. How the hell could I have been lying about that? Anyone in the East Coast can vouch for me on this because, like, the snowstorm was happening. They know all about the cancellations and stuff. So, like, everyone on the East Coast can tell her that I was not fucking lying. So, when she told me that, I was like, yeah, she just believes what she wants to believe. I mean, technically she cheated on me. She doesn't think of it as that way. I mean, she started dating the guy 10 days before breaking up with me, so that's cheating. It's like, so, and she's like, yeah, believe whatever you want to believe. And then she was like, don't message me again or I'll report you for harassment and some shit. So, I was like, alright, fine. Fuck you, I'm done. So, I have not heard from her since, thank fucking God. That's been, see, today is February 2nd, so that was almost a week ago when that last text was sent. So, yeah. And the thing is, like, a lot of people have been helping me, like, think of this, because, like, now that we're broken up, now that I'm single now, it's like, a lot of my friends have been helping me, like, realize all the things that were wrong in the relationship, like, and I need to thank my friend Ari for helping me, like, see the real picture here, is she was fucking jealous. She was so incredibly jealous over everyone. Everyone. She would not let me talk to anyone. If someone so much as liked a post on Facebook, she would get jealous. And it gotten to the point where she had me delete every single girl that I had on my Facebook page. Alright, I had like 400, 500 friends. And it's like 50-50 were guys and girls. So my friends list went from like 457 to like 270 or something like that. So yeah, she made me delete literally everyone. It's like I couldn't come into contact with any girl that I've ever spoke to. And, and this is something that I haven't actually mentioned publicly, is on December 18th, okay? There were three things. I can only pick one thing to do, but there were three things. One is go to the theaters to see Star Wars since I had a ticket. Two, go to the coffee house at the school. Or three, spend the weekend with my grandparents. I asked her what to do and she said Star Wars, which that's what I was going to pick anyway. However, it's what she said after that bugged the hell out of me. Is I'd rather have you go to your grandparents for a whole entire weekend and not have me here talk to you for a whole entire weekend than you go into the coffee house. And I'm like, why? Cause of the fucking girls there. I'm like, are you serious? Are you serious? Alright, first of all, the coffee house. Alright, you guys know if you watch my one vlog from back in October what the coffee house is. Alright, the coffee house all right, was if it wasn't for uh everyone in the club that runs the place having like Instagram accounts and stuff, because that's how like that was our main form of communication at the time for the club was Instagram. So that's the only reason why I started really using Instagram. And if it wasn't for that, then I wouldn't have met some of the greatest friends that I've ever met, and I wouldn't have even met her. So it's like the coffee house, all right, eventually brought me to you. So be fucking happy that I do go to the coffee house. But she didn't. She didn't just want me to go to that one. She just didn't want me to go to them at all ever. I was like, no, because that's the one thing that I love to do. That's the one thing that I really enjoyed about school throughout the whole entire time was looking forward to the coffee house just so I could hang with some of the greatest friends I've ever met and listen to music and even playing music. So that was, out of all the things that she did not want me to do, that was the one thing where I said, I'm not doing that. I am still going to the coffee houses no matter what. That was the one time where I told her no. Anyway, what was it? My friend Tom from Facebook was saying about the breakup. It was like a real person deals with the heartache. A fake person pretends that they feel nothing and move on. So it's basically like, I'm not gonna say I'm the real person in this because like I dealt with the heartache, but the heartache is not really there. I mean, it lingers, but it's pretty much gone. All right, with Brittany though, I will say she is the fake one in this because she does act like the last 6 months did not matter. So yeah, there's that. Oh, I forgot something about the coffee house thing. All right, with the coffee house, okay, it was that night where I felt like a severe lack of trust. So, and I told her that because I just got a message. I will look at that later. I had like that was the one time where I felt like she didn't trust me at all, and I told her about this, and again, Ari, I need to thank you if you ever watch this because, and this is helping me realize that she was right with what she said was, I felt like she didn't trust me, and I told her that like I ended up crying myself to sleep that night because I'm really a person who cries. Actually, she's the only person to really get tears out of me because I'm not that much of an emotional person. But because of how I felt towards her, she's always the one that kind of like got it out of me. But anyway, so I ended up crying myself to sleep because it did. It felt like she did not trust me. And it went on to what Ari told me was like that, like her doing that to me, making it so I don't talk to anyone at all. It's emotional abuse. Like she was she was playing around with my emotions to the point where only her matters. Yes, she was my top priority, but she wasn't my only priority. I want to make sure everyone around me was happy. I couldn't ignore everyone, and because of her, I ended up starting to, and I did. She was draining me. She was draining me, and I didn't realize that until after we broke up. And then what Ari was telling me about the emotional abuse is like, man, is like, like it's starting to make sense because I was starting to feel emotionally drained, especially at that moment. So, I need to thank her like a million times for me realizing that if she ever wants me back, I'm gonna say fuck no, bitch. Well, I would never call her a bitch. I would never, no matter what happens, I would never call any girl a bitch or a slut or anything like that. That's not in my nature. I would not do that. I I always try to handle things in a mature manner. But anyway, this video is running kind of long. I mean, this video is almost like half as long as the Louisiana vlog, so I think I'm gonna end it here. Thank you all for watching. If you guys want to know a little more, because there's a lot that I wanted to say going in here, and there's probably some things I left out, which I do a lot. So if you guys want to know like anything else about what's going on, just let me know. All right, but until then, this is Mike signing off.